Hey, Jessica here from Deborah. In this part of the course, I wanted to talk about angles, copy, and creative, kind of how we present our sweepstakes single opt-in or double opt-in offers. Because you really have to be creative when it comes to push traffic, because you have to call out everything with a short amount of characters. So not only do you need to be straight to the point, but you also have to be specific, creative, and you have to figure out how to target a broad audience through your copy. So in order to do that, put yourself in the customer's shoes, kind of look around, figure out why they would want the offer, kind of expand on their needs or the type of person that you're promoting to. And this will, in return, will help you keep in mind what your audience is thinking. So like if I'm going for like an Amazon gift card offer, I think about, okay, who's usually on Amazon? It will be maybe single women who are trying to save money, and this would be really good for someone who wants a little extra cash for Christmas. Or if I'm thinking about um, someone who has a drop shipping service and or store and they love using Amazon, so that's something that they would do. If it's a QVC person who is comparing rates and thinks that Amazon is a good competitor. Like I go through all of those scenarios on who would actually look at and use something like this. And then that's how we come up with our angles and our copy. So you definitely need to call out your audience, and you can do this by age, location, tribe, interest, anything. Just hook them in as soon as you can. And hooking them in, you'll probably have to use some pricing. You'll probably have to tease them with maybe a call to action that is irresistible. But that's really your main goal whenever it comes to your copy. And explain what they have to do on the landing page helps a lot. So if they need to take a survey, spin a wheel, vote for their top pick, pick a color, if you set the environment and set those expectations in the push notification, then they usually follow through with the actions, and then they proceed all the way to the offer page. And they'll also be motivated more to do it if you talk to them like you're their friend and appear native and not come off as all salesy and spammy and corporate like. Play on their interests, favorites, and hobbies by appearing native. Use emojis, but don't overdo it. So there's a time and a place to use emojis. You don't need 10 heart emojis in one message. Two is fine, something like that. You need to have the proper etiquette to make sure it doesn't come off as looking unappealing, unattractive, spammy. They can tell that it's from an advertiser, so they're going to ignore it. Or worse, they can unsubscribe to the database and turn off all the notifications to the phone. So yeah, there's going to be one person who's going to ruin it for everybody. But if you approach this as authentic as you can and on a personal level, then you should be successful. And then you have to make your call to actions clear. Like I said before, if they need to do something, tell them what they need to do. Walk them through the process, and you should be able to come up with tons of different titles and headlines to test so that you can rotate up to like 10 push notifications at a time on a consistent basis. So your tips for headlines are really to give a timeline, call out benefits, and use it to your advantage as a missed opportunity. So you can tell them what they're going to win like today, or you can tell them, do you want? Kind of ask them, what do they want? Or you can tell them they can get it for a certain amount. Or you can tell them that sorry we missed you. Those kind of headlines get someone's attention because it's either specific, it's laying out some clarity on what they can expect on the other end, or it's leaving something to look into, like some mystery behind it. So you're like, who called me? Something like that. Or, oh, I can actually win something today? That's interesting. Angles. So because most of your offers are going to be mobile, you need to appeal to a cell phone message. That's the best angle that we can give you. So you can approach it like you're trying to reach the person, have a new message display, one missed message, and then if you want to tell them that they need to claim something or to take an action, that helps too. Or call out the main benefit of the offer. like kind of saying, well, it's an iPhone, or you can get a new one if it's brand new, or if it's never been released. Or the benefit could be that you may have been selling out, so you have a few left. Another benefit could be that someone never came to claim it, so their order is ready, or they could get it shipped immediately if they respond now. There's so many different ways that you can twist it. You just have to test and figure out which works for certain particular audiences that engage with these databases, and then tell them what they'll be doing is like my favorite. That's why I keep saying it, because if you give someone clear steps from point A to B where they can see through the forest, then that's usually a no-brainer when it comes to anything in marketing. So when you're aside from your copy, your icons are equally as important because it's going to be the first thing that they see. They see the picture before they read the text. And then naturally, if it's like a missed message, we read those in unison all the time. So they'll probably bypass the new message part and jump straight to the description. So if that happens, then you need to make sure you are rebuttaling with some pretty good copy that's telling a story, being specific, or selling it. So what we like to do is we like to try to find icons that are pretty native to the phone. I'll link a zip file to tons of icons that we have available, and I'll probably go on a prowl for a few more to create an updated swipe file for this course. But if it's an Android phone, then we try our hardest to find Android icons. If it's an Apple device, then we do the same for that. And we like to use these notification areas right here where it says, where it's in red, 1 or 2. You can always add those to an icon as well, so that it goes in relation to the missed message or the missed opportunity angle. That works a lot. And then we like to rotate between the gift cards and the gift boxes. Those work really good. The mailing logos per country work really good. And then also the packages. So these 4, I can tell you, are great areas to start testing, in addition to the icons over here that look like missed messages, missed emails, or missed calls. Now these 2 here with the graphics, you kind of have to be clear, because if you show a cell phone image, it's the front and back of a phone. It's not really that unique. And then over here, this simple win, it's nice to try it and it informs them on what's going on, but it does look a little spammy. So just be careful with those. So those would be my feedback for that. But this is ultimately how the push notification comes out. So you got the icon, you got an image that's pretty big, and then you have your text up here. So your tips for images are, you can definitely use stock images that are bright, that feature the offer, that highlight the offer. Gift cards work really good, and the packages work really good. Maybe opening a package is good. Holding out the phone in hand. Hand images are really good, like selfies are really good. Anything on social media, because you want to think about what people will expect on a cell phone. And then make sure it's high quality, and you can even take images from the offer itself. I've done that before and it's worked out great. I know for a fact that this one is photoshopped, so you can use internet tools for that, because this is a stock image. I know for a fact, because I was going to use it in a grocery store offer, and they just pretty much just pasted a gift card on top of that. Sometimes with a pretty girl, showing the images works really, really good. But again, these may not be seen on mobile as much as they are on desktop, and we don't run sweeps on desktop. They don't convert well. So these work mostly for propeller ads. We won't be doing these too much for zero part. So that's kind of why I prefer zero part, because it's less work. All right, so that goes into images. So you need to test all of these, right? So let me give you a quick little tool and walk you through it so that you can stay organized. Okay, so what I have here is your push notification repository, so that you can keep up with all of the headlines and descriptions, icons, and images that you're testing. because your ultimate goal is to be able to pump out and test at least 5 to 10 offers within a week, maybe, probably run at least 20 campaigns a day, and run through tons of geos at one time to figure out patterns. You'll have to stay organized with, your resizing and all of that stuff. So whenever you're brainstorming your headlines, I created an area where you can come in here, keep them organized, where I have it set for an ID of which headline it is in this column B. And then in column C, we can count how many characters they are. Because with push notifications, you're only allowed to promote a certain amount of characters. So when like my favorite one new message, that should be counting all of the characters for me. So now I know I'm good to go. So if I say, in iPhone today, I'm at 20. Now I'm at 28. I might be pushing it, and then if I add emojis or something, I'd be pushing it further, right? And so what I will do is, if anything is over, I'd say, what you can do, actually, I'll show you how to do it, is you can add a condition to where it goes red if you've gone over, okay? So if you know there's a certain amount of characters that you want to stick with, you can. The only reason why it'll be hard to kind of keep up with that is because it's going to be different for multiple traffic sources. So maybe you can make a push notification repository for Zero Part, and then you can make one for propeller ads. So that's what I'll do for you guys. I'll post this one basic one first, and then I'll do one that's programmed to count for Zero Part with conditions, and then I'll do one for propeller ads for conditions for you guys. So the same thing goes for your description and then the word count. Now, if you ever have an icon, and the easiest thing to do is to honestly have everything set up in a folder. So I have my icons set up in a Google Drive folder, and then I have them separated by vertical. And then if we go in here, you can see where I've uploaded all of the PNGs. So from here is where I will link inside of my sheet. I can even pull it up. And if I want to, this is kind of just how my computer does things. So yeah, you can just pull up the file so you know where you're at, and then you come in here, which is locate that image, and let's see. I'm trying to copy it, so I probably have to open it, copy, and all that stuff, probably go into my local drive. But that's what I'm getting at. You can copy it, and you can put it in here if you need to visually see it, or you can just do a link to your drive, okay? And the same thing goes for your graphic. So now let me explain what's going on with 1 through 30 and A through O. So this is how you stay on target with what you're combining, because you can combine description H with title or headline number 4. So down here, I have it where you can stay organized with what you're doing, right? Because we have different options on how you can link your flows. So sometimes you might want to do an ad to a custom lander. And then to your offer. You might have multiple landers, so you need to know which one it is. You might be running multiple offers, so you need to know which one it is. So that will keep you on track, okay? So whenever you have a particular headline, you can say, okay, well, I'm using headline number 6, and I'm going to pair that with description E, so that now you know what's going on. Maybe you can type notes over here that say winner, loser, things like that. But ideally, this is really just to help you keep up with all of your flows that you're testing, all of your headlines and descriptions, and then your word count. So I hope this helps you guys. Feel free to download it in the members area, and I will see you in the next training.